in week 4. Number 5 on the list. Give it to me right now. Bam! The Washington Commanders. You see this, brother Jaden Daniels? You see the brother complete 91% of his passes Monday night? You see him leading the NFL, complete 81% of his passes? You see him connecting with Terry McLaurin? You see him vibing with offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury? You see the way that the Commanders are playing right now, looking like the best team in the NFC East? Gotta give them love where it's due, led by that rookie number 2 overall pick at quarterback who's in line to become Rookie of the Year.
What's good, Commanders fans? That was Stephen A. Smith just gushing over the Commanders, fawning over Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, talking about him having, you see him complete 91% of his passes against the Bengals on Monday Night Football. You see him complete 81% of his passes and lead the NFL. You see the connection with him and with Terry McLaurin. You see the connection with Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury. So Stephen A., not just him, but the national media is just glazing and loving Jaden Daniels. They're loving the Commanders at this point. They're loving us right now. So, like I said, I usually don't pay attention to the national media because they don't like to put us on there. They actually wanted to, NFL actually was interested in flexing us, or NBC was actually interested in flexing us, that Commanders-Ravens game to Sunday Night Football, but CBS blocked it. They protected the game. But I'm making this video because, like I said, the national media is loving us right now. It's something that we usually don't see or get, and it's something we need to get used to. You know, I do want to stay humble at this point, but it's hard to. You know, it's hard to. You want to love and enjoy this moment and stay in the moment and focus on the Browns coming up this week. But definitely just want to acknowledge really just the power rankings, how we have moved up. We've skyrocketed the power rankings right now. We've moved up. We started at like 30? I think 30 out of 32 teams. We were 30th. I think the only teams we were really above was the Giants. The Giants and the Panthers were, I think, the only teams that we were above to start the season or in the preseason. And now we've skyrocketed up to top 5, top 10. Damian Woody on ESPN yesterday saying that he thinks Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC. Not just the NFC East, but the NFC. That's Damian Woody. Marcus Spears going crazy saying that there could be a parade in PG County. Who else? Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers, loving Jaden Daniels. Devante Adams saying that the Raiders wanted to draft, or he wanted to draft Jaden Daniels. So all the national media, just not the national media, but players gushing. Des Bryant tweeting continuously, Twitter fingers talking about Jaden Daniels. So the noise, the buzz is growing about us right now. We just gotta keep our eyes on the prize and just, you know, focus what's in front of us. But like I said, enjoy the moment too. Just enjoy it as well. Soak it in, because we don't see this much at all. We're not featured on ESPN. We're not featured on, like I said on my stream yesterday, national media reporters or whatever, beat reporters or personalities, media personalities, people who have hated the Skins and the Commanders are talking positive and loving. Like there was a video of Chucky Gruden yesterday. He was at his home, like he came out sweating and was like, you know, the reason why I'm sweating is because I've been watching Jaden Daniels highlights. Like crazy stuff like that. Crazy stuff like that's been happening. So, but let's look at the power rankings real quick, and then I do want to talk about Devante Adams just real quick. It's gonna be a quick video, not long. You guys give me your thoughts and whatnot, but the power rankings right now. So ESPN, they have us 10th. Stephen A. has us 5th. He has the Vikings 1st, and then he has the Chiefs 2nd. I didn't look at the other two, but those are respectable. I think the Vikings right now, I can agree the Vikings are the best team in the NFL. They are undefeated. Sam Darnold's playing is behind all. Justin Jefferson looks the part as always. Aaron Jones looks the part as always. Jordan Addison's a good number 2. The tight end Jalen Naylor. Brian Flores has done a great job coaching up that defense. Kevin O'Connell's done a great job as well, coaching up, just being a good head coach who should have stayed in Washington a couple of years ago, but it is what it is on that. He should have stayed as the offensive coordinator. But I'll read the ESPN write-up real quick for the power rankings. They say our biggest issue is on defense, clearly, is run defense. Our secondary is not good either, but they look good on Sunday against Kyler Murray. They shut him down. He was seeing ghosts. They did a heck of a job. They sacked him a couple times, forced a fumble. They did a great job on Kyler Murray. They forced him to punt. You know, we forced him into a 3rd and 34. We were getting pressure. Dorrance Armstrong wrapping up with 2 sacks. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne got in the mix. Frankie Louvu was flying around. Bobby Wagner was flying around, not stopping the run, but, you know, getting stops and tackling and wrapping up. Jeremy Chin was actually tackling. You know, Emmanuel Forbes, he struggled to tackle, but, you know, he was getting in the mix. He was trying, and he didn't give up any big plays. So I'll take that from Emmanuel Forbes any day of the week. I really will. So I'll read the article real quick. So ESPN, they say Washington ranks 31st in yards per carry. Last week we were ranked 19th. after beating the Bengals. Then after beating the Cardinals, we moved up to 10 in the power rankings. Washington ranks 31st in yards per carry, 5.3, 27th yards per game. So they're talking about how bad our defense is. Gaps have been too wide as tackles are getting nudged out or others are trying to avoid blocks, and at times the edge isn't being set strong enough to force running backs outside. The good news for Washington is that in the next 6 weeks, it plays only two teams, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, ranked in the top 10 in rushing. And Derrick Henry, that's going to be a monster of a game right there. It's going to be tough. Also, looking at Pro Football Network, their power rankings were 10th. Ahead of us is the Eagles, which is ridiculous, in my opinion. The Eagles should not be ahead of us in the power rankings. The Houston Texans are ahead of us. I agree with that. At this point, with C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, and Joe Mixon. Green Bay is ahead of us because of Jordan Love and the guys that they got, Jaden Reed and Josh Jacobs. They still have a really good team. The Vikings are 6th, even though they're undefeated. Baltimore Ravens 5th after they blew out the Bills on Monday night. And the Bills are 4th. San Fran's 3rd. Kansas City 2nd. And Detroit is 1st after the performance that they put on last night. Excuse me. Beating up on the Seahawks. The Seahawks were 2-1. Or no, the Seahawks were undefeated when they played the Detroit Lions. The Lions took care of business at home with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. But just to be mentioned in this tier after we were around with the Giants are 30th, New England's 31st, and Carolina's 32nd. That's where we were when we started the season. That's where we were. And people had Daniel Jones above Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams above Jaden Daniels and other quarterbacks, but now even Jaden Daniels in the quarterback power rankings has surpassed a couple guys. I get it, it's only 4 games, it's very early in the process, but just making observations right now, just making observations of where we're ranked and whatnot. Of course, last year we couldn't really do this. I mean, we did have a hot start last year, starting out 2-0, but it went south quickly. But right now, I mean, of course, he's first in the offensive rookie MVP of the year, and then in the MVP odds, he's at plus 4,500. So the fact that he's even mentioned in MVP odds is something to take a look at as well. So no, I get it. This all can be premature. It's only been 4 games. I get it. I get all that yada yada yada. But you have to make observations of what's going on right now. They're playing good football. You can argue that they're the best offense in the league right now. Statistically, there's a lot of stats that show it clearly. This college offense is clearly the best offensive football right now, currently through 4 games. The Lions maybe and the Vikings right now at this point. Other than that, and maybe the Niners here and there, of course, Chiefs with Pat Mahomes and the Ravens when they're starting to wake up now, but they start off 0-2, 0-3. But currently, you look at statistics. Tressway has barely touched the field. We barely punted the football. We're getting a bunch of first downs. We're scoring now. We've gotten the penalties out the way against the Giants. We've learned the communication, snap count, all that. Everybody's firing on all cylinders. And we went on the road and beat Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. So, nothing but positive vibes right now. And then I'll transition real quick to Devante Adams. I'll talk about him. We had the fewest punts this season with 4. 49ers only have 9. The Bengals have 9. The Saints have 10. So we have the fewest punts. Tressway has barely had to touch the field. Third down conversion percentage over the last 5 seasons. We're first. Actually, I think we're first in third down conversions right now. 53.5. Yeah, we're first in third down conversions right now with 53.5. We're first in fourth down conversions at 100% this season. So third downs and fourth downs, it's just like it's scary hours for the defense right now. When we're in a third down situation and a fourth down situation, it's scary hours for the defense. And Jaden knows what to do. Cliff knows what to do. And we have a potential 3-headed monster at the running back position with Jeremy McNichols, B-Rob, and Austin Eckler. So it's going to get even scarier for teams right now. The defense just has to improve, and the defense is getting better. They got better. The secondary got better. That's something we can build on. But real quick on Devante Adams, I don't think he's coming here, but it's just something to keep an eye on. This guy, Vincent Bonsignor, he's a Raiders beat reporter. He said he tweeted out, more on this to come. A league source with knowledge of the situation confirmed that the Raiders are growing open to the idea of trading Devante Adams. The source said the club has begun reaching out to teams to gauge interest in the veteran receiver. Also, he was on the Kay Adams podcast. He was on the Kay Adams podcast a couple weeks ago when he said that the Raiders wanted to draft Jaden Daniels. This morning, she asked him something like, I forgot what she asked him, but basically he said he can control what he can control. He's not worried, whatever. He said he's about to go work out. Antonio Pierce liked a Instagram picture saying that Devante Adams took his last snap in Las Vegas. So, I mean, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a coach like a post basically saying something about a player leaving, but this is 2024. This is the day and age that we live in. So that marriage with the Raiders and Devante Adams is definitely done. Now, there's other teams that I feel like that will be interested in trading for him. Rashee Rice is injured, so I think the Chiefs are going to have interest. The Jets with Aaron Rodgers, they may have interest. You look at the contract, he's making a lot of money. Somebody tweeted out that the contract would be prorated or something like that. It wouldn't be as much as, like, I think his contract goes up to like $35 million per year, which is a lot. Personally, I would not make the trade because I like the chemistry that we have. And I think we have a group of guys that are not diva receivers. Devante Adams is a diva receiver. And I think just the guys that we have, the cohesiveness, the chemistry. And I think right now we don't really have to have a guy other than Terry that, I mean, it would be great to have a great number two, another wide receiver one out there. Don't get me wrong, but I think the ego of Devante Adams, and it's not like he's an Antonio Brown or anything like that, but he is a guy that will complain and voice his opinion if he doesn't get touches. And right now, what Jaden is doing, he's spreading the wealth. Terry is getting his targets. He has 7 catches against the Cardinals. He had 4 or 5 against the Bengals. He had 4 against the Bengals. But right now, everybody's getting better. Luke's getting better each week. Noah Brown is getting good chemistry with Jaden. Alameda Zacchaeus is improving each week. So I think those guys is all that's all we need right now. Ben Sinnott hasn't really got involved yet. Zach Ertz is playing well. So I just think the guys that we have right now works for us. And then maybe let's see how the season unfolds by the trade deadline and see if we do want to add another receiver. That's my take on it. So just wait until the draft and get McMillan from Arizona or somebody like that. Because we're not going to be in the range to get Travis Hunter. You're going to have to be in the top 5. And we're not going to be in the top 5 of the draft or even the top 10 or even the top 15 of the draft, in my opinion, in the future. So that's my take on it. I like Devante Adams, great player, but he's aging. $35 million per year. I think it's going to be a little bit less for that than that. Amari Cooper, somebody I would take a look at. There was something where his contract is going to go down. Amari Cooper, the star receiver, Amari Cooper's cap hit is only $605,000. If a team wanted to trade for him at the trade deadline, that is insane. And I think that's something you have to take a look at. I'm a big fan of Amari Cooper's game. Hasn't had a great season so far with Deshaun Watson. I think it's for obvious reasons. The Deshaun Watson just hasn't played good football, but Amari Cooper has had some drops. But I would not pull the trigger on Devante Adams right now. I think the receiver group that we have right now is working out for what we need them to do. Now, if we do get Devante Adams, if he doesn't get touches, he's going to get mad. Right now, it's a spread the wealth wide receiver by committee and Terry McLaurin kind of offense, which is working for a young quarterback. I don't want a wide receiver complaining in Jaden's ear and he's starting to try to force passes to Devante Adams. I just don't think we need that right now. I just think the chemistry of guys, humble guys, not saying Devante's not humble, but just humble guys who are staying quiet and good chemistry right now. I think that's just what a young rookie quarterback needs at this point. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Health Commanders, as always. Peace.